Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're going over the ECOZY Sphere Ice Maker model IM-BM401C. So ECOZY reached out to me and asked if I would do a review on this, and I was like, yes, I would, because I've been looking for a ice machine that makes the clear ice and it's just there for you, ready to go, throw into your cocktail glass and it's done. And the fact that they're gonna send me one to review, I'm like, easy choice. Now, I'm gonna do an honest review, we'll see what happens, but this is just the first part, so I'm gonna record this over numerous times. Today this part, today for me, I'm just gonna open it up, kind of see how the packaging is, and we'll go from there. Okay, I got the camera in a different spot, and so you actually see a little bit more of the background in this video. Okay, so I'll put it over here. My nice camo pajama pants, only the best. Okay. So this is the kind of reason why it's gonna be over multiple things. So you can see that there's like packaging dust and stuff. And when you're talking about ice, stuff that you're putting into your drink, I'm gonna make sure I wash all this stuff before I actually use the ice. So I'm guessing this is some kind of drip pan. No idea. That's one way of doing it. All right. Well, the packaging is really nice. I love these little corner things. I'm seeing a lot more of with packaging. Covered completely. That'll help with the packaging dust I was talking about earlier. All right, I got out of the box. I just read the tips that I have right on top here. I'm guessing the first few batches, again, I'm not gonna use the actual ice. I'm just gonna fill it up with water a few times, let it do its thing, throw away that ice, and then review it. Because that's what you should do with any kind of appliance. Run it a few times. Okay, so then there's a thing right in the front. It's basically just instructions. Very easy. It actually tells me to take this off before using. Okay, this opens up the tray. Okay, it's stayed closed. What do we got in here? We got the things for the actual ice. We have a hose, we have tongs, stickers possibly. Sure, instructions. Bucket, which I will wash. A rubbery thing that I'm guessing goes on the bottom. Plug. So I won't be using the hose in my setup only because the location I'm gonna have it won't be near water. It's pretty much gonna be right here next to my beer fridge, unless I put it into the kitchen. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I'm gonna put it, but there is a hose so you can hook it up to the water. Look, it comes, I'm guessing this is for like to hold the tongs. That's, that's just funny. A TDS meter. Holy crap. So when I was reading the instruction that said use a TDS meter, I was like, I'm not gonna buy a TDS meter. It comes with one. So you can actually test your water to see if it's under 200 or not. So that's pretty cool. Didn't expect that at all. Okay, as a quick guy, I'm just gonna quickly look over to make sure it's all in English and readable for, most people. All right, so the next thing is probably gonna be doing the clean cycle. Okay, so I got plugged in for the first time. I'm crouching to get myself in the camera. My kitchen's weird. My house is built like 1900. So like the sink is off this one area and the kitchen's behind the camera. It's very strange. But I wanted to do this part near the sink. So I washed everything. We are gonna do the self-cleaning mode. I cleaned everything that needs to be in there right now. Well, I wiped everything and plugged it in. And this is what happens when you plug it in, a little light on, different things are up. And now let's do the self-cleaning mode, which according to the manual, you should do this before you use it anyway. So this is what I was going to do. So it's perfect. And it also says to use it after it's on use for over 48 hours. Fill the water tank, which is the bottom part, with lukewarm water, which I did. Then press the cleaning mute button, which is this button right here. Okay, it's making noises. And then this is supposed to take 3 minutes. So this consists of 3 cycles, takes about 3 minutes to complete. During the process, this light will be on, which is right there. This little button is now an indicator in this corner. Let's see what happens in 3 minutes. Okay, so the self-cleaning mode finished. It was not a lot of noise, but you could definitely hear it was doing stuff. And so now the next step is to drain the water. So the drain is in the front. And this is why I wanted to do this by the sink. I found the drain. And it's a little twisty thing. And then you just pull it. So the water's coming out. So it smells now clean versus like the plasticky smell. So definitely did something. Okay, I just want to show that when it's not a twist thing, it's just like a ring that you pull. See? So it's just because when I was putting it back in, I was like, oh, it just goes in. It's not a twisty thing. As you can see, it just goes underneath and it just pushes in. There you go. All right, so this is the ice full thing, and this means it goes into a self-isolation. It tries to keep the ice from melting. And let's see what the ice balls look like. All right, they're solid. There's no holes. So they're not clear because I'm using tap water, but the actual shape of the balls are a lot better than the beginning. So I will now, so you can still see a little hole in this one. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, they're cloudy. So the next step I'm gonna do is throw this out and put in distilled water. All right, so we have the second batch, and this is tap water again. I might have said I wasn't gonna do it this time, but I did another round of tap water. It's saying it's full. Well, this means it's open. I already took away the full thing, but you might have seen that at the beginning. So the circles, good circles. They have these little knobby things on them. We'll see. Again, this is tap water. So I'm gonna take all these out. Good sizes though. The holes are getting smaller on the second batch, so let's see how they come out on the third and final one. Okay, so right this moment, what I'm trying to do is record the sound. So I downloaded an app on my phone that was highly rated for measuring decibels. And so this is, you know, kind of in front of the ECOZY ice machine. So right below 50. But if you go to this side of the machine, a little bit higher, because that's where the fan is. So the noise is coming from the fan exhaust right there. And this is the mode where it's actually making the ice, like the 40 minutes. The mode where it kind of stops the fan and then the ice falls, that's quiet except when the ice is actually falling. Just kind of show you the sound it makes. So something I forgot to mention in the video that I think is pretty important. So the ice in here, this isn't like a freezer. This is basically like a cooler. So once the ice gets into the basket, eventually what would happen is it will eventually melt back into the water basin to be reused to make ice again. So this doesn't keep it frozen. You know, what I would recommend is, you know, once you fill up the tray, if you want to save it in your freezer so you have the ice balls in the future, I would use this machine mainly like knowing there's a party coming. I'd have a bunch of ice balls ready to go. Just in case you thought it would just stay frozen, it will eventually melt because, you know, this isn't really cold in here. It's basically just the ice in a cooler. But it is tempered, you know, it's a good cooler. Just want to throw that in there. All right, for the final test, does it make clear ice balls? And that's what the purpose of the machine is supposed to do, right? So today is the day. So I already ran it 2 different batches. It's on its 3rd batch using distilled water only. And it should be pretty much full. I haven't even checked. I have a glass of water, kind of see how clear the ice is. Let's pull out this one right here. This one has a little hole, pretty see-through. I'll put this back in, close. Okay. I don't have the little hooky thing yet because I'm not 100% sure where I'm gonna leave it, but there you go. So there's your ice ball, pretty clear. I wouldn't say that's 100% clear, but pretty clear. Does have that little hole for the mold. And there's your ice cube. That's the ECOZY. So I want to make sure I say the right one because they have a couple different ones. So that's the ECOZY 2-inch clear ice ball maker with CrystalFlux Technology. So it does 4 pieces of ice, the spherical ice, every 40 minutes, which that's about accurate because every 40 minutes, it'll stop, it'll drop 4 balls, and then it'll continue doing it. It says 144 pieces a day. You know, obviously the basket itself, I think only holds like 51 or something like that. 56 in the basket. You know, I obviously didn't count how many were in there, but sounds about right. So it does go on sale. Black Friday is coming up soon, so it might even be cheaper. So if you're looking into a machine that makes spherical clear ice balls in a rapid pace, you can look into this one. It's not a bad deal. You know, you let me know if you would spend $350 on a machine that makes ice balls. You know, definitely something that's cool for your, like your bar. I'm gonna be featuring this in some whiskey related content coming up because I have some cocktail, like the Penelope cocktail videos. I'll use this machine for the ice part. If I do any cocktail that need bigger blocks of ice, obviously I'll be using this machine. Also, I want to do a video on best whiskeys over ice. So might as well use this one, right? If you want to look to more information about the ECOZY, there'll be a link in the description. I'm not sure if it has some kind of affiliation link for me or whatever, but I'm recording this before I know all that stuff, so click the link anyways if you plan on buying it. I'm sure it will help me as somehow, even a little bit. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment or email me. The email's in the description. I have gone back and forth with ECOZY customer service over this, so their customer service is responsive, so that's good. Testing to see if the water changed any kind of flavor. Just tastes like cold water. All right, so that's the review on the ECOZY. Don't do nothing stupid, and if you do, don't get caught. Bye.